Isaiah was a prophet during the 8th century BCE in Jerusalem. He's recognized as one of the preeminent prophets of Israel, the son of the prophet Amoz and the nephew of the Judean king Amaziah. He was uniquely positioned as an effective prophet because he was unintimidated by royalty and had the ability to extend rebuke when necessary. Today's lesson reveals a glimpse of what life will be like in the future under God's rule. Israel needed at this point a message of hope. It was a time of great political upheaval in Israel. The kingdom of Israel had been divided into two parts, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah. The Assyrian Empire was expanding and threatening both kingdoms. In the midst of this political turmoil, Isaiah prophesied about the future when God would restore his people. He wrote about a new era of peace and prosperity. In this passage, Isaiah describes a new heaven and a new earth where God's people will live in peace and prosperity. He speaks of a time when people will no longer weep or cry out in pain. In fact, the passage says that a person who dies at the age of 100 will be considered a mere youth. Isaiah speaks of a time when people will build houses and inhabit them, plant vineyards and eat their fruit and live long and healthy lives. In essence, the work they do today, they'll be around to see it tomorrow. The passage is a picture of a future era of peace and prosperity where God's people will live in a restored relationship with Him. The picture painted by Isaiah is one of a world without pain, where people live long, healthy lives, and where nature flourishes. This vision is a reminder that God is in control and that there is hope for all of us in the future, no matter how bleak it may look. When you consider that the average life expectancy has decreased, moving from 78.9 years in 2014 to 77.3 years in 2020, when you consider that our news is filled with mass killings seemingly every week, wars, disease, it is obvious that we are moving in the wrong direction. As Christians, we believe that Jesus Christ is the fulfillment of Isaiah's prophecy. Jesus came to restore our relationship with God and to bring about a new era of peace and prosperity. The Bible teaches that Jesus will return one day to establish his kingdom. In that future time, the picture painted by Isaiah will become a reality. As Christians, we are called to live in anticipation of this future. We are called to live in a way that reflects the values of God's kingdom. This means that we live lives of joy and love, peace and patience, kindness and goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self control. We are called to care for the poor and the marginalized, to work for justice and peace, and to be good stewards of the earth. The picture painted by Isaiah is a reminder that our ultimate hope is not in this world, but in the world to come. We live in a world that is marked by pain and suffering and sin, but we know that this is not the end of the story. The hope that Isaiah writes about, you still have that hope. Our faith is built upon that hope. God has promised a future of peace and prosperity where pain and suffering will be no more. This lesson reminds us that God is in control, that there is hope for the future. As Christians, we are called to live in anticipation of this future, to reflect the values of God's kingdom in our daily walk and in our work, to work for justice and peace in the world. May we be inspired by the vision of Isaiah, and may we all live in hope of the future that God has promised us. That's the lesson for this week. Have a great week. Bye.